Hello everyone, this is teacher Jenny and for today's video, we will be discussing about collaborative learning and teaching strategies.
Our objectives for this lesson are to analyze classroom scenarios by distinguishing how collaborative learning strategies can be adopted into their future teaching practices, achieving at least 85% accuracy. Design and present a mini lesson that meaningfully adopts a collaborative learning strategy to a classroom setting within 20 minutes, ensuring at least 90% active participation from group members. And lastly, reflect on and evaluate the effectiveness of collaborative strategies from classroom adaptation, showing openness to feedback and willingness to apply improvement in 100% of peer or group reflections. Alright, so what is collaborative learning? Collaborative learning is the group and pairing of students for the purpose of achieving an academic goal, according to Gokhale in 1995. It is also constructing knowledge through interactions with other learners, for example, discussion, cooperating on tasks. Collaborative learning plays a crucial role in fostering a conducive learning environment wherein students actively engage with peers to acquire knowledge and develop skills. That is according to Salma in 2020. In short, collaborative learning is an educational approach where students work in groups of two or more with teachers' guidance to solve problems, complete tasks, or create products together. It emphasizes shared responsibility, active engagement, and the exchange of skills and perspectives. So instead of relying on memorization, students learn by discussing, reframing ideas, and understanding different viewpoints, which leads to deeper comprehension and improved learning outcomes. Collaborative versus delegated group work. Collaborative learning is different from delegated group work. This actively encourages learning and focusing together rather than delegating parts of a certain task. Lev Vygotsky controversially argued for educators to assess the student's ability to solve problems rather than merely acquiring knowledge. Vygotsky believes the role of education is to provide children with experiences which are in their ZPD, thereby encouraging and advancing their individual learning, according to Burke and Winslow in 1995. From a Vygotskian perspective, the teacher's role is mediating the child's learning activity as they share knowledge through social interaction, according to Dixon Cross. So what is zone of proximal development? So ZPD represents tasks beyond the learner's current abilities but is attainable with the help and guidance of the more knowledgeable other or the MKO. To effectively adopt collaborative learning, we need to consider steps in implementing it inside our classroom. So there are 5 implementation strategies. These are thoughtful group composition, rotating roles, structured tasks, teacher monitoring, and reflection and debriefing. Group composition means carefully consider how to form groups to ensure a productive mix of abilities without creating too wide a gap. So this means deciding who works with whom. Sometimes a mix of abilities or personalities helps students learn better from each other. So next is rotating roles. Assign and rotate specific roles within groups to ensure all students have opportunities to lead and support others. So in a group, everyone should get a chance to lead, record, present, or manage time. Rotating roles ensures that no one is left out and everyone learns different skills. Alright, so the next one is structured tasks. So design collaborative tasks that require input from all group members, encouraging full participation. So the groups need clear instructions and step-by-step tasks. So if the work is too vague, students may get confused. So structure is very important because this helps them keep focused and productive. So next is the teacher monitoring. While allowing scaffolding, monitor groups to ensure accurate information is being shared and all students are engaging appropriately. So here, in teacher monitoring, the teacher doesn't just sit and wait. They walk around, check how groups are doing, guide students, and make sure everyone participates. And lastly is the reflection and debriefing. So this is including time for students to reflect on both the content learned and the collaborative process, reinforcing the value of mixed ability teamwork. So after the activity, students share what they learned, what worked, and what can be improved. So this helps them think deeper and grow from the experience. Alright, so let us know the benefits of collaborative learning. So first is it promotes interdependence. This means collaborative learning allows students to depend on one another to succeed. So it teaches them that learning is not just individual but shared as a group effort. So next is encourages learners' individual responsibility for learning. So even in groups, each learner is still responsible for their own learning. They need to prepare and contribute, not just rely on others. Third benefit is it increases individual accountability as part of a group. So every member's effort matters here. So if one does not participate, the whole group is affected. So therefore, accountability is built into the activity. Alright, the fourth one is that it reinforces learning for individuals through peer teaching. So when students explain concepts to their peers, they actually learn more deeply themselves. Peer teaching makes lessons clearer and easier to understand. The fifth one is this gives opportunity for teachers to observe and assess learning during the group activity. So group work gives teachers a chance to see how students think, solve problems, and interact. It provides more authentic way of assessing learning beyond tests. The sixth one is it increases group cohesion. Working together strengthens relationships. Students feel a sense of belonging, which makes them more engaged and motivated in class. And lastly, the benefit of collaborative learning is it develops communication skills, decision making, and leadership skills. So finally, collaborative learning helps students practice real-life skills like expressing ideas, making group decisions, and taking on leadership roles. So these are the skills they use beyond school.
For collaborative learning to be effective, the instructor must view teaching as a process of developing and enhancing students' ability to learn. The instructor's role is not to transmit information, but to serve as a facilitator for learning. That is according to Gokhale in 1995. So Gokhale here states that for collaborative learning to be effective, the instructor should not merely transmit information, but instead act as a facilitator of learning. The instructor's role should focus on helping students develop and enhance their ability to learn by guiding them in the process rather than delivering direct knowledge. Collaborative learning emphasizes that students are working together, sharing ideas, and solving problems collectively, with the instructor's offer to support rather than leading every discussion. This approach encourages critical thinking, communication, and deeper understanding among students. So now here are the 4 collaborative learning strategies. These are carousel brainstorming, team games tournament, peer teaching approach, and the jigsaw strategy. So how does carousel brainstorming work? So small group of students rotate around the classroom, stopping at various stations for a designated period of time, usually 1 to 2 minutes. At each station, students activate their prior knowledge of a topic or a concept and share their ideas with a small group. Now, each group posts their ideas on a chart at each station for all groups to read. So, this strategy involves rotating groups of students through stations where they can brainstorm ideas or solutions on a given topic. After a set amount of time, students move to the next station to build upon or add to the ideas already recorded. Alright, so these are the examples of carousel brainstorming. Team Games Tournament. Students are placed into heterogeneous teams, study material together, and then compete in weekly academic tournaments against members from other teams who have similar ability levels. Students earn 4 points for their team in the tournaments, promoting peer tutoring and cooperation within their own teams to prepare for the games. So in this method, students are divided into teams and compete each other in academic or challenges or games. The competitive nature of this approach can motivate students to engage more actively with the content. So these are the examples of the team games tournament. Next is the peer teaching approach. This works by having students teach each other concepts in a supervised setting, transforming them into both tutors and learners. This method involves students explaining material to peers, which reinforces their own understanding through the protage effect. So these are the examples of the peer teaching approach. So the last one is the jigsaw strategy. So in the jigsaw strategy, students are divided into groups, each focusing on different segments of a topic, and after mastering their section, students reconvene in mixed groups where they teach their section to others. So those are the 4 collaborative learning activities and strategies in teaching. As future teachers, let us remember that students learn at different speeds. Someone may be in charge of the group and others may not cooperate. So therefore, this may develop tension among the group. Some groups also may struggle if they don't have group work skills, and lastly, social loafing or introverts may struggle. Therefore, it is necessary to have a good background knowledge of the cooperative learning strategies first before implementing it in your classroom. In addition, collaborative learning is not just about group work, it's about making every student an active part of learning. So let us commit to using these strategies to create classrooms where students learn with and from each other. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening and have a good day. Bye-bye!